Nobody. Nobody. Tony Hawk. Oh shit!
One for the money, two for the show. Keep it on the low, homie. You would never know.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great weekend if you're watching this video on the day that I uploaded it, Saturday the 27th. And I hope you enjoyed that clip at the start of the video. If you've been around my channel for a while, you've probably seen it before, but it's a very old clip featuring myself and my friend Speedy on the Modern Warfare 3 map Resistance. It was filmed with a potato and edited like shit. But fast forward to 2018, and the first Call of Duty World War II DLC is about to drop, which also is named Resistance. So a nice little bit of symmetry there. But before I go any further and talk about the map and or the old days, whatever I want to talk about, I wanted to say thank you to Activision for flying myself and many other YouTubers out to California to record the first Call of Duty World War II DLC Resistance. They also paid for my hotel, which was nice because the hotel gave us free Mountain Dews. It was actually funny when I checked into the hotel. They said that they heard a bunch of gamers were going to be staying at the hotel for this weekend, and they made us gift bags. So I opened the gift bag, and it was 2 Mountain Dews and some candy. And I just thought to myself, oh, that's kind of, you know, stereotyping. I don't even drink pop anymore. I've been soda sober for over 6 months. But anyways, you guys don't care about that. So the name of this map is Occupation. It's a remake of Resistance, like I've said. And it actually is not really different at all than the original Modern Warfare 3 map, because it's still set in Paris. This is an actual street in Paris. You can Google Modern Warfare 3 Resistance real life. This is modeled after an actual area of Paris, France. I have no idea where. I'm not a geography expert, and I'm not an expert on Paris, France, but it's a real place, and it works for Call of Duty World War II because the fall of Paris after the Battle of France was a really pivotal point in World War II, a really dark time for the, oh God, it's the Allies, right? Yeah, the Allies. I always get that confused with what you named the groups in the war. So it was a dark time for the Allies. The United States of America was not in the battle yet, but you know, Europe was fighting valiantly to retain their sovereignty from Germany, who was trying to take over the whole damn continent. And yeah, so that was a really pivotal point in the battle. I'm interested to see if in other DLCs that drop, 2, 3, 4, however many they're dropping, they have maps that center around other more pivotal points of World War II. More specifically, if they have remade maps that they can tailor around more pivotal points later on in the war, because I believe the fall of Paris happened in the 1940s, no, it definitely happened in the 1940s. I believe it happened in 1940, I think is when it happened, which was pretty early on in the war, so I'm wondering if there's going to be maps later on that feature super important events from later on in the war, but I don't know. That's, I guess, neither here nor there. I really like this map. It was a great map on Modern Warfare 3. Probably my favorite Modern Warfare 3 map. Dome is interesting too in its own way, but this was, I thought, a really balanced map, and I really enjoyed playing it. I would always vote for it when it would come up on the screen, so it was cool to play it again. And it was interesting to play Gridiron on this map. Obviously, Gridiron, or whatever the jetpack equivalent is that I can't think of the name of right now, was not a game type in Modern Warfare 3. I will say, I feel like this map is unbalanced for Gridiron, because when you're on the side that's on the lower part of the map, where you have to climb up the stairs to get to the top half of the map, or climb through the apartment to get up there, or go up the side street on the left, alley, I guess is what it's called, that I think you have an advantage in Gridiron, because you can just run out of the apartment, go off the steps a little bit, and then throw it up as high in the air as you can and straight, and it will probably go in for a field goal. Whereas if you're on the other side, you have to go through the apartment and like kind of get an open space on the street. You have to be way closer, is what I'm saying, to throw a field goal, unless you just throw it over some stuff and kind of throw it blindly, which would be pretty impressive, and I'm sure the pros will figure out. But it was fun to play that game type. I don't play that game type often anyway, and I thought I did pretty decent in this gameplay, because I purposefully did not sit at the station where Noah J and Pamaj were recording. I did sit at the station where FaZe Blue was recording, but I usually was on his team. I don't know if I'm on his team in this gameplay. I'm not actually watching the gameplay while I'm recording this, but he dropped many 40 and 50 bombs, and it enhanced my gameplay. It was probably the best recording session I've had in a while in terms of killing people in a video game, of course, not in real life. And I'm looking forward to sharing my other DLC content with you guys. I'm going to upload another video. Again, if you're watching this on Saturday the 27th, this stuff will probably already be up, but I'm going to upload another video of my favorite DLC map tomorrow. Actually, well, this might be my favorite DLC map, but I meant my favorite new DLC map. And with that video, I'm also going to share some footage from the event. This was my favorite record. Well, it's tied 1A and 1B for my favorite recording session I've ever had. The other one being in Las Vegas because it's Las Vegas. But this was really cool. We normally just record at a game studio, whether it be Raven Software or at Sledgehammer Games, wherever you would record that's easy for the studio to set up. For a bunch of Call of Duty gaming YouTubers to come out and record their videos really easily because it's at the studio, so any problems they have they could fix very easily. But for this event we did something special, which I really appreciated. We went to a World War II aviation museum to record Call of Duty World War II DLC footage. So I'm going to try to paint the picture for you a little bit, and maybe if you're in the Los Angeles area, you've been to this World War II aviation museum, whether it be on a field trip or whatever. It's in Camarillo, California, which I've never been to. I've been to Thousand Oaks before, and Thousand Oaks is the town next to Camarillo, but I have never been to Camarillo. It's very far north of LAX, the airport that you land at when you get into Los Angeles. I had a 1.5 hour car ride up there, probably just because of traffic. I fell asleep in the car, which is always dangerous to fall asleep in the car with a stranger, but my driver seemed very trustworthy. And I woke up without my clothes on, but that was my choice. Anyways, there was two stations. I was sitting in a station, and they were both in this hangar. Also in this hangar were airplanes and a Jeep, a World War II era Jeep with a mounted machine gun. Well, I don't know if it was a Jeep, because that's a brand of, I don't know. It's, one of the cars that was driven around during World War II. I don't know if it was a replica. I think there were a lot of replicas, but we were able to take pictures and videos. I'll share those in my video tomorrow at the start, or however I want to mix it, just because it requires a little bit of editing, and I think there were some, some decent pictures that I could share with you guys. I have a real interest in World War II. I'm actually listening to podcasts about World War I right now, specifically the Hardcore History podcast about World War I, because I started it, and then I started a different Hardcore History podcast. I wasn't disinterested. I was just more interested in this other one. But I'm trying to learn a little bit more about World War I. I feel like I know a decent amount about World War II and not a lot about World War I, but my initial interest is in World War II. My father has a great interest in World War II. Both of my grandfathers fought in World War II. One of my grandfathers got a Purple Heart. Well, he got multiple Purple Hearts, but he got a Purple Heart in World War II in a pretty key battle during the African and Italian campaign. So that's an interesting part of my family history that my dad's always been interested in. He's read many books about World War II. I'd like to read some books this year about World War II. And it was cool to go to this museum and talk to the museum curators, who obviously have a real love and interest for the machines that were used in the World War II, the tools that were used to win the war. We got about a half hour of free time during the recording session, and I turned that into an hour of free time for myself. I didn't get in trouble or anything, but I think people had to wait for me a little bit. But I really wanted to talk to the museum curators. I really like learning about this history and learning about the stuff that was at the museum. There was one hangar with the aircrafts, a second hangar with aircrafts and other vehicles, and then a third hangar was filled up with general memorabilia from the war. It was kind of interesting. It wasn't set up like a normal museum, it was literally just aircraft hangars. I went to the World War II Museum in New Orleans, by the way. I've recommended this many times, but if you're in New Orleans, you have to go to the World War II. It's the National World War II Museum. Like the one that the United States says, hey, this is the one right here in New Orleans, Louisiana, which is a lovely city in and of itself. But I'll share more of that footage tomorrow. I hope the Gridiron footage kind of speaks for itself, and you guys kind of got an idea of what this map was, Resistance, and how... Or no, I'm sorry. what is it called? Now I'm forgetting the name of this map because I'm thinking of the Resistance DLC and the Resistance map from Modern Warfare 3. This is Fallen or something. No, that's another Modern Warfare 3 map. I don't know. You saw it at the start of the video. I'll link it in the description as well and in the title of this video, which will be a great reminder for me to remember the name of the map. But it was really fun, and I look forward to playing this in the rotation with all of you guys when the DLC drops here pretty soon. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to be posting some more World War II content on my channel over the course of the next week and in the coming weeks, so look out for that. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you later.
Nice catch! Keep it moving! Loose ball! Get on it! Enemy moving downfield!